Hello students, this video lecture covers the first paper for English 110, the summary paper on Ken Murray's essay, How Doctors Die. Overall, the goals of the summary paper are for you to be able to express in your own words the main ideas of Murray's essay, then be able to describe how Murray supports those main ideas using concrete examples, stories, and other forms of argument. So it will be identifying main ideas, identifying examples, and then expressing how those two relate to each other, how the examples support and prove Murray's ideas. Also, a large component of the writing of the paper will be your use of summarizing language. We will discuss this in later PowerPoints, but one of the key things to keep in your mind is that you should use no more than 2 words from the original source per sentence in your writing. Summarizing language is your ability to demonstrate that you can articulate the ideas of someone else in your own words. Being able to articulate the ideas of what you read is a key component of college learning and a key way you will demonstrate knowledge over a subject. That's what makes it important. So in demonstrating your understanding and knowledge of Murray's essay, you should aim to have 80% of all the writing in your summary section be done with your voice without copying from the text. The summary paper will also be our first time using MLA format and citation. Right? So just for now, keep in your head that MLA format refers to how the paper looks, and MLA citation is how you document what you have read in an ethical way that attributes the original source. Also, don't forget, there's a large section on the course Blackboard dedicated entirely to MLA and MLA citation. So here's an example of how a properly formatted MLA paper looks. This is an example of what your first page would look like. So as you see, everything here is documented in double space. There are no spaces between paragraphs. The paragraph begins with an indentation of 5 spaces or a tab to denote the beginning of each paragraph. And if you look in the left-hand corner, you will see an example of what needs to go on the first page of an MLA assignment. On the first page of an MLA assignment, you should have your name, my name, the name of our course, and then the date on which you submit the assignment. This will only go in your first page only, all right? So this here with the title, think of this as what goes on your first page, then the rest of your paper should look exactly like what it is below. Double-spaced, 12-point font, no spaces in between paragraphs. So now that we've introduced the overall goals of the summary essay, let us begin to look through and work through the individual sections of the assignment. Now, as a reminder, what I'm presenting here can also be found in our unit folder, the week 2 folder, that analyzes and breaks down what should go where in the paper. Remember, the goal of this assignment is for you to demonstrate your knowledge of Murray's essay by being able to separate main ideas from examples and then show how main ideas relate to examples. So main ideas, examples, and then how those 2 ideas connect to form Murray's argument. So what we're going to talk about now is structure. So you can kind of ignore the particulars of this sandwich. I just wanted a goofy image that shows that your paper should have a coherent structure. For 90% of the papers that you will write in college, you will use an introduction, body, conclusion format. Now, some scientific writing and some business writings will use a more report-based format. That's a little different, but you will be taught that structure in those classes. Almost every other paper you write will kind of follow, very generally, introduction, body, and conclusion. The introduction will be 1 paragraph, and it will be the first paragraph of your essay. So what we're going to describe in each of the sections, think of them as your checklist. You want to make sure that your section is accomplishing these goals, and if you can kind of do so, that will tell you that you're sort of on the right track. So here's what you need in the introduction. It will be our first paragraph of the paper. Right? First, tell me the title and author of the essay, being exact in terms of the title and the author's name. Spell it correctly. Make sure you get the title exactly how you see on the essay uploaded to Blackboard. Next, describe the topic of the essay. By topic, we mean general subject. For instance, I think it's safe to say, having read Murray's piece, that you would describe the topic of this would be healthcare, or healthcare about terminal diagnosis. Next should be your thesis statement. For every paper that we will write this semester, you will want your thesis statement to be the last sentence of your introduction. Now, this is a sort of formal and standard way to do it, but in my experiences, most professors will not get mad at you if you kind of do the expected in terms of your thesis statement. They will kind of be prepared, and it'll be very, very clear to them what your thesis statement is. And that's what you want to do. You want to have a very clear thesis statement. For this paper, for the summary essay, you should articulate the main idea of Murray's piece. Okay? So for your thesis statement for the summary paper, try to imagine yourself telling a friend what the main idea of this essay is using one sentence. All right? So you don't want to go into any of the details or any of the examples in your thesis statement for the summary paper. You want to clearly state what you believe the main goal, the main idea of Murray's essay is. That's it. And make sure you are doing this in your own words. Do not copy and move around words from Murray, especially in your thesis statement. Body paragraphs. Now, the paper, if you read the assignment sheet on Blackboard or view the virtual session where we discussed the assignment sheet, you will see that this is not an incredibly long paper, so you could successfully complete the paper with 2 to 3 body paragraphs depending on length. So what you want to do with this structure is check them for all of the body paragraphs you will write in this essay. It's the same structure, just with different content added in. So here's the structure for the body paragraphs. All of our body paragraphs throughout the semester will follow a sort of standard routine, a standard structure of using evidence. Your traditional use of paragraphs will have a topic sentence that then will be supported by examples or explanations. In the case of the summary essay, remember, your main goal for this essay is to summarize the ideas present in Murray's article. So that is the main goal of your body paragraphs. So your topic sentence should summarize one idea from Murray's essay. All right, not an example. The topic sentence should be an idea. All right, check the other virtual class sessions, the other video lectures that have discussed Murray's essay, where we talk about the difference, and I give you some examples of the idea versus an example as you're reading. So first thing, topic sentence. What is the idea of Murray's essay? Next, select a specific example, only one per paragraph. One example, detail, or story from Murray's piece per paragraph. All right? Select one, and then describe this in the following manner. First, with the example you've selected, describe the example you have chosen, summarize it using detailed language. Next step, explain what is important about the example you summarized. 3, explain how the example relates to the idea in the topic sentence. Now, the key thing you're going to want to do in these body paragraphs is to not interject your opinion or your beliefs about the essay. Your main goal in the introduction and body of this paper is to summarize the main idea, present an example, explain the examples, show how those examples connect to the ideas of the piece. All of this, everything doing in the body of the essay, should still be using that summarizing language. So for each body paragraph, right, topic sentence should summarize an idea from Murray's essay. Then you should provide an example where you explain that example, say what is important in that example, and then explain how that example in Murray's essay relates to his idea. Finally, the conclusion. The conclusion will be the last paragraph of your essay. In this conclusion, you're going to have two main tasks to do. The first task is a standard task that is done in sort of any sort of college level or formal paper, right? That is to restate, not copy, restate what you have said the main idea of Murray's essay is. Right? You should put this in your own words and think of this last section, the last part of your summary task. All right? Restate that main idea that you talked about in the paper. This is a standard conclusion move that is sort of the normal thing most students do in a conclusion. Restate what the most important thing is in their paper. Now, after you've done that, the last part of your conclusion, is where you can finally interject your opinion about the ideas of Murray's essay. So in the conclusion, after you've restated the main idea, you can tell me, and you should tell me, what you feel about the overall ideas of Murray's essay. Make sure to discuss your opinion on Murray's essay using at least one example from the essay. It can be an example you talked about, all right? It can be an example from the body of your essay, and you can tell me your thoughts and your opinion. Now, your thoughts and your opinion should show up only in this section. Do not put your thoughts or opinion in any other section of the essay, as the introduction and body should focus only on the summarizing of Murray's ideas, the summarizing of Murray's examples, and demonstrating how those two ideas and examples relate together.